I see Luda. Oh, hello. Good morning, good afternoon, good night, good day for everyone who is present at the regular Dnipro Hills Toastmasters meeting. Thank you for coming here, and as a VP of Education of the Dnipro Hills Toastmasters Club, I'm empowered to call this meeting open. So I'm opening this meeting, and I would like to remind all of you, yes, thank you very much for those who are already applaud, because that's the essential part, one of the essential parts of our meetings, to help others, to give our hand to others, so to give huge rounds of applause, to give a hand, to smile. Do not forget to unmute yourself before you are to speak. Do not forget to mute yourself while others are speaking, not to bother them. And have fun, stick to the agenda, participate. Our today's meeting is a really special meeting because we, as usual, and even more than usual, we have so many guests and friends from all over the world, from different parts of the world. And let's just meet them, introduce ourselves to each other, and let us start with our guest from the Friendly Club Chamber. This is the Ukrainian club that meets on Wednesdays. Tetiana Lytvyniuk, who is on our agenda, by the way. Tetiana, please unmute yourself and say a few words to introduce yourself.
Hello, dear members and guests. I'm very happy to be here with you today, as I already told. Thank you very much, Natalia, for inviting me for this meeting and giving me this role today. Today I am a grammarian. And as a grammarian, it is my responsibility to pay close attention to the words you use, to the phrases, to the speakers, to note some improper usage and probably propose some better usage of the words or phrases or grammar or whatever. Also, I will note some outstanding words, quotes, sayings, phrases, and I will report about them at the end of the meeting. Also, as a grammarian, it is my responsibility to introduce the word of the day for today's meeting. As the topic of today's meeting is the seaside, I decided to have as a word of the day the word serene, which means peaceful and calm, worried by nothing. I believe that this is something which we really need these days, and I wish everyone to have their life as serene as possible. Of course, not without bright emotions.
Okay, thank you very much, Tetiana. Huge round of applause to Tetiana. Actually, you will be able to represent your role. You would be able later. Now I just
sorry.
However, later you will just remind the word of the day and put it on the
okay, sorry. I thought
Thank you
this
very
is
much.
Already there.
So now, if we have the guests that do not know what our agenda is about, you have introduced the part of it. Thank you very much. Our next guest, guys, I would invite those people who haven't visited our meetings before. The rest of our friends and guests, I will also introduce you. Okay, we also have another guest from another friendly club, that is Svoya Sorochka, Ukrainian speaking club. It is Maria Kuchar. Please, Maria, take a minute to introduce yourself. Unmute yourself and introduce yourself, please.
Hello, my name is Maria. I'm 17 years old and I'm a member of Svoya Sorochka Oratory Club, and I have PR manager. I am PR manager here, and it's my first year in this club, and I hope that everything will be super and I will learn a lot of new things. And also It's my first time visiting English-speaking club, so I'm very excited. Thank you very much.
So we are, as well as you. Huge round of applause to Maria. And by the way, we cannot, not only we can do that or that here, we also have reactions. So do not forget to support our participants with those reactions, and another participant, another guest to support and to introduce herself is Larissa Potapova. Larissa, if you can hear us now, please unmute yourself and say a few words to introduce yourself. Larissa, can you hear us? Okay, probably we'll do that later. I'm also grateful to see here again Gary Jenkins from London. I'm also happy to see here Twila Stout. Haven't seen you here for years, for a year, I guess. And it is a really it is a really heroic step to wake up as early. I'm also happy to introduce and to see here Anna Schmidt and Victoria Baliuk, Corey May, our friends from different parts of the world. Also, I see that there's Olena. I guess that's Olena Kiev. That's Olena from Coma Club. If yes, please. I can see the. I can see that that Larissa has already appeared here. Please introduce yourself.
I'm sorry, bad connection. Okay. Okay, it's okay. So I'm a teacher, English teacher from Kiev. I'm here with my colleague, young colleague Yaroslava. We are now in in the village Dnipro. It is Ireland, and we are very happy to join your club. So thanks.
Welcome. Huge round of applause. So many people from Ireland.
Thank you very much.
At least 4 people.
It's a warm
here
atmosphere.
Yeah. We will try to. We will definitely stay as we are, so we're in that warm atmosphere. And having said all of that, I would like to urge you to use the physical and virtual reactions and support ourselves and have fun and practice. And our today's main and special person is our member who is also now in Ireland, and it is our Toastmaster of the day, Tetiana Bilous. Tetiana Bilous, this stage is yours.
Thank you, Natalia. Thank you. Good afternoon, dear Toastmaster and guests. Everyone should believe in something, and I believe that in summer we should go to a beach. It has been raining for 3 weeks in Ireland, especially in Dublin. But you know that the cloudy day on a beach is still a day on a beach. As well, our meeting online is the still meeting of Toastmaster Club. And I want to introduce you our technical team, but before, I just remind you that our meeting consists of 3 parts. Prepare a speech, evaluations, and table topic session. And now I want to invite on the stage our technical team. I start from a counter. Nataly Parubocha, please introduce your role.
Hello again. And again, I'm here on the virtual stage. And now I'm here to introduce my role as an accountant. And you know what? Over the 15 years at Toastmasters, I still found this role important. First of all, because this was a counter role, was one of the first roles who helped me to feel comfortable at the stage. It was like minor role, but I felt that I can speak in front of the audience and I can be confident. Another thing that it is really important role, because it helps us to see from another angle and to hear how we sound for others. and whether or not our speeches are clear. To help us, so today I'm here to help us, to help you, all of us, to have our speeches clear. That is why I will be carefully listening to all of your speeches and will be carefully noting all unnecessary sounds like right sounds, and unnecessary words like, so, and repetitions of the word or the words, and so on and so on. And like so on and so on probably sometimes sounds like the words that aren't necessary. So that is my role for today. Please relax. Do not forget of making mistakes. Do not afraid of making mistakes. Do not forget of express yourselves to the best as you can today, and have fun. Back to you.
Thank you, Natalia. Please applause for Natalia. And the next person from the technical team is Timer, and I pass the stage to Lesia Yurchyshyn, who is Timer today.
Hello again. Actually, Timer was one of the most favorite roles in Toastmasters, and as Natalie also say about a counter, I find Timer is a very useful role because after performing at the timer, I really begin to be more time controlling in my everyday life. So I suggest all of you try this role if you still have some hesitation about it. And about our today's agenda, I posted it in our chat a few times. I hope you will see that we have very strict time limits for each part of our session, and I believe that we all can cope with all of this. I will hope to you to follow it with my virtual background. I will just use it green when you still have time, but you should think about how to continue it. Yellow, it's usually understand that you still have 30 minutes or 1 minute to continue. And red card, and red card is usually understand that please stop as fast as you can. And for our speeches, for prepared speeches, today we have two icebreakers. So the duration of the speech from 4 to 6 minutes. One prepared speeches from Liudmyla, it will be from 5 to 6 minutes. At table topic session, Sergii also will remind you, but we usually have from 1 to 2 minutes for impromptu speeches, and we will have also impromptu evaluation up to 1 minute. So just pinned me in your computer, and I hope we will be okay with time for today. And for evaluation, as usually we have from 2 to 3 minutes. So I believe all our evaluators will be also very good with this. Tania, you can continue.
Thank you. Please applause for Lesia. And now I want to pass the stage to grammarian of our meeting, Tania Lytvyniuk from Chamber Toastmaster Club. Tania, just remind a couple of words about your role and the word of the day.
Hello, everyone, again, once again. As I already started introducing my role, I will not repeat what I already said. I will just remind you about the word of the day, which is serene, which means peaceful and calm, worried about nothing. And the example of using this word is, I love the serene beauty of the Swiss lakes and mountains. Or, her eyes were closed and she looked very serene. Each speaker is encouraged to use the word of the day as many times as possible. And at the end of the meeting, I will report about the usage of our word of the day and also provide the report on the usage of grammar. Thank you, and back to you, Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you, Tetiana. Thank you. Guys, I know that the phrase seven seas is well known in Ukraine. I hope that in your country also. And in Ukraine, it means the destination so far from where you are. But there are actually approximately 50 seas in the world. And all of them are different, with different sites, with different quality of water, and different location, and different temperature of water, different ecosystems. In general, I calculate that I was swimming only in 5 of them. But it is because I don't like water. I don't like water, I don't like swim. My question is to Victoria Baliuk. Victoria, can you describe the dream of your life as to have your regular morning coffee on the seaside and to spend your life in bikini?
Tetiana, thank you so much for your question, but I can say that I belong to kind of people that adore or like sea. I adore forest more rather than sea. Therefore, I like just walking in the forest, and I can describe myself as the person who likes sea or who would like to have a vacation on the sea. But I believe that among our other participants are such people that will be able today on the table topic session to describe how they would like to have their dream vacation on the sea.
Thank you. Thank you, Victoria. Dear friend, I want to introduce you our first speaker, Victoria Baliuk, Svoya Sorochka Toastmaster Club, Level First, Project First, Icebreaker, Dynamic Leadership Path, My Goals. My Goals, Victoria Baliuk, please welcome. Victoria, stage is yours.
Good afternoon, dear participants and guests of today's meeting. My name is Victoria Baliuk, and I'm the president of the Ukrainian public speaking club called Svoya Sorochka. From 23 to 24. Like many of you, I have other different areas of interest, except for public speaking, such as programming, cyber security, and marketing. But today, I will share with you what goals, why, and how I should reach in 3 months in public speaking, using the opportunities that offer Toastmasters International. Let's move to the first simple goal. It's to write speeches that I want to deliver in advance, at least 7 days before the events where I should do this. By doing this, I will be able to work more on the structure of the speeches, have more rehearsals, and feel less stress during the preparation. I can reach the goal by creating the list of speech ideas, communicating with the vice presidents of education previously about the date of the delivery, and also work on writing speeches 7 days before. The second goal will take me serene because it is to learn how to give feedback. I need this because of my current work in different teams where feedback is necessary for improving the results. Also, I was asked to give feedback, but I didn't know how. Fortunately, I can practice this in Toastmasters by evaluating prepared or impromptu speeches and giving feedback to team members. The last call is the hardest for me. To make stick connections with other people. The reason is that I met a lot of talented people outside of Toastmasters. I became close friends, worked in a team, and grew together with them. But the problem is that I don't make these connections all the time. So I want to change my focus on making stick connections with people all the time. To reach this goal, I can attend other club meetings in Toastmasters especially and meet new people. In fine, I have 3 goals that I will accomplish. In 3 months, in public speaking, using the opportunities that offer Toastmasters, and you can do the same too. The first goal is to write speeches 7 days before. The second, learn to give feedback. The third, make connections. And I wish you the same. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Victoria. Guys, I see that in chat there is a link to leave feedback for Victoria. I ask timer to count 1 minute and please write the feedback.
Time
Thank you,
starts.
Lesia. Thank you, Lesia. Thank you, Asim. Ibiza, Spain. Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. Koh Phangan, Thailand. Cabo San Lucas, Mexico. Canggu, Bali, Indonesia. Mykonos, Greece. It is the most popular place for a party on a beach. Dek, may I ask you, if you have a possibility to spend your time in a beach party or to go to the pub on the seaside, what is good for you? What the choice will be yours?
Do you mean where would I go? There's only one place I would go, and that is the south of Spain. I adore the south of Spain. It's my favorite place. I had a villa there. I've had a few villas down there for years. I adore the lifestyle. I adore the food. I adore the people. I try to speak Spanish, and I try to speak Italian as well, and I get the two mixed up all the time. So when I say può portare una bottiglia di vino blanco, por favore, they don't understand a word I'm saying in Spain because that's Italian. But that's where I like to go, the Costa del Sol in the south of Spain.
Thank you. Thank you, guys. Let me introduce you our second speaker, Dek Cluskey, DTM, level first, project first icebreaker, presentation mastery path, change is good. Declan, the stage is yours. Please welcome.
I have to shout ha 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 so that the screen will change. But there we are. Listen, before we start this shenanigans, would you please go to the top right hand of your screen, click on view, and put it onto speaker view and full screen. You'll understand why in a minute. Speaker view, full screen. So you have me on the big screen. Okay. I'm the luckiest person in the world. I think I am. Because I read civil engineering at university. And when I finished there, I went straight into the chief civil engineer's office in Western Row in Dublin. Now, the Irish people know exactly what I'm talking about. CIE, Chorus Upper Erin. Within days being there, the boss, Mr. Somerville Large, said, Declan, welcome to the organization. I have a very, very simple job for you. I have a very simple job for you. Now, we have just built the largest, the biggest, the finest bus garage, an open span bus garage. It is the largest in Europe. It is absolutely wonderful. Now, what I want you to do, my boy, is I want you to design the doors. Now it's very easy. So on you go. All you have to do is get the running gear for the top. You have to get the hanging gear, the running gear, and there we are. It is 100 meters wide, and it is 14 meters high. So there you are. Off you go, my boy. Nothing to it, I thought. I got my drawing paper out. 14 meters high. That's no problem. 100 meters wide on the drawing paper. I thought, oh, where will I put the handles? Halfway up, of course. They were built. 10 weeks later, the day came. Jean Lamasse, the Minister of Transport, was opening the doors. I was there on the other side of the road with my mother. He was a small, diminutive man. He stood there. He said, "Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Sean Lamasse, the Member of Parliament, would like to open the doors." So he walked forward and he said, "Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen." And he went. If you're following the story, the doors were 7 meters off the ground. Next day in the office, no problem at all, Cluskey, dear boy. Anybody can make a mistake. No recriminations, no punishment here, no sorrow, no crying. I'll have another job for you. We are going to be the first country in the world to have all diesel engines, none of the steam stuff anymore. So what I want you to do, I want you to look up the Type 121. that is the General Electric Motors, and I want you to make sure that those critters can fit under every bridge in this country. So I got all the plans of the bridges out. I measured them all, and I designed the specifications for the Type 121. The Type 121. And they are my specifications. Now, if you look very carefully, when they arrived, we bought 17 of them, 17! And when they arrived, if you look very carefully, can you see the cabin? Can you see the window? Can you see the window to see out? It was 10 centimeters high. To this day, there are still a few of them running. They run backwards. They have to. Nobody can see out. They even today make a model of my design, and it's just on sale for $400. There it is. Buy one. I designed it. The next day, you seem to be making so many mistakes, but no recriminations, no sadness, no crying, for goodness sake. It's only a tiny mistake. But listen, I have something else for you. We have a chap here called Beaching. Now, Beaching is the best man in the world for closing down railway lines for efficiency. So he's coming up to this country. I want you to be seconded to him, and I want you, because he has asked for you, my dear boy, I want you to make the plans so that the bods up in the government can make the decisions on which railway lines to close. Now, I have to tell you, it's very easy. So I designed a marvelous idea called passenger miles. There's only one capital in Ireland, Dublin. All the railway lines are going out from Dublin. So all I did was the larger the number of passengers on the line was a thicker line. So the lines coming out from Dublin were very thick, and then gradually as they went down the country, they became smaller and smaller. All the ministers had to do was tell me how small the line had to be chopped. And they decided on 1/4 of an inch. This is going to run over, but it's a good story. So that is what the railway lines looked before. Yes, and that is what they looked after.
Red.
I'll tell you what, I'm going to do something very unusual, because this is such a good story that I'm going to leave this for my second, not my second icebreaker, but for my second speech. This is a wonderful story. This is my icebreaker. You now know all about me, at least a lot about me. I'll tell you about the change, because I changed from being that idiot making all those mistakes to being very successful all over the world, #1 records all over the world. But that's for another day. Thank you, Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you so much, Derek. Thank you for your introduction. Thank you for your ice breaking. Guys, in the chat you can find the forms to leave your feedback for Deck, and I kindly ask you to do it. And I ask our timer to keep 1 minute and tell me no when we continue our meeting. Thank you. Thank you, Lesia. Life takes us down many paths, but my favorite ones lead to the seaside. Liudmyla Kushch, do you like the Irish seaside?
Thanks a lot. Great question. I even bought this, but for 5 weeks, you see, a good beach towel and a lot of stuff because I've been in Ireland for 5 weeks. And I'm planning to go to the seaside here, like in a couple of weeks, because I'm not a person who likes to do it myself. I'm organizing a group of cheerful Ukrainians who will enjoy seeing seaside together with me. That's it.
Thank you, Liudmyla. Guys, let me introduce you our third speaker, Liudmyla Kushch, level 1st, project 3rd, introduction of vocal variety and body language, motivation strategy path, walking Celts and Vikings land. Liudmyla, the stage is yours. Please welcome.
Thanks a lot, Madam Toastmasters. I'm extremely glad to see every one of you and to see how many people come from Ireland. What is more, I'm fortunate to make a speech after Cluskey. I heard him 3 weeks ago and I was totally impressed. And I had no idea that he would become the member of my favorite ever Dnipro Hills and give a speech. Like my pleasure. Yes. And you see, Ukrainians are spreading all over the world. And it's a very good way because when we just travel around, we can do some sightseeing, some shopping, whatever. But when we live somewhere, we have to integrate into the culture, integrate into the customs, integrate into the way people live. And that's why I've got very, very short experience here in Ireland, but I would be happy to share it with you. Well, while I was planning my speech, I put up 5 points to me. So I'll tell you the points, and during my speech, you will hear something about everything. So first is the nature, next, friendly people. Well, the next is places to see, medieval culture, I mean. The weather, of course, and the last but not the least, this is pronunciation. Because there are many variants of how English can be pronounced. American one, British one, Australian one, and Irish one. And for myself, I find Irish one be the mildest and the most pleasant to hear. Well, there is another story how I got to Ireland, because when I left Ukraine on 5th of June, I was heading to Norway. You know, and it happened like that. I went to Ireland and I'm really happy about it. So let's start from a very important point. Ukrainians are Ukrainians everywhere. When we come somewhere, like in 2 weeks, we start missing our home. So, and what are we doing? We're starting to look for products to cook our favorite borscht. And you know what? In Ireland, they do not sell roast beef in the shop. I mean, usual, normal roast beef. They sell it only cooked, and it gives different taste and different color. So, the first thing I bought here, which made me comfortable in the weather, was a thermos where I keep my hot drinks, because the weather, well, it changes from 5 to, I don't know, let us say 10 times a day. And the sunshine is followed by really heavy rain. And the next thing which I bought after this where, you know, the huge variety of raincoats, different styles, different colors, and whatever, and I'm changing them 3 times a day. You might ask, why not umbrella? Well, umbrella doesn't help because the winds are so strong that it turns this way and down more often. It's my second one, and I think in 2 weeks I'm going to find like a new one. I was really happy when I bought that woolen cardigan, which is perfect handmade and which will make me, you know, warm, because I'm not used to the climate of Ireland comparing to Ukraine. If we have summer, it's really hot. If we have rainy day, you know that like in a day, the sun will shine again and you will do the stuff. But walking around the place with 10 times a day rain, you know, doesn't make you really happy. So, the nature. Everything is extremely green, absolutely amazingly green. Green like this. Well, yeah, this is, I think this is the best color, yeah, which tells you about Ukraine. And the tree trunks, they're so thick, and the trees are extremely large. Well, there are a lot of places to see according to the nature, and we are planning. But after the month being here, I planned a trip to Cork. I'm settled not far from Dublin. Actually, it's about 2 hours by train, and Cork is 1 hour and a half. I have a friend of mine, an Irish person who lives there. And now I want to tell you about pronunciation. Well, I left home. Oh, yeah. I'm, you know, not that kind of person who is perfect with technologies. That's why I decided to buy a ticket train at the station. And I decided that going by train would be better because you can see like around, you can walk and whatever. In the bus, yeah, and what is more, if you're buying a return ticket, it's cheaper. And you can meet new people, you can change your seat if you want. That's why I bought a ticket at 8 o'clock in the morning. And they told me, you know what, there is no straight way to Cork. You have to change at the first junction. Yeah, they said first. You know, I thought, okay, first junction. Well, I thought that that junction will come, I don't know, that the stops between the station would be short, like in Ukraine, 5 to 10 minutes approximately. In 25 minutes, it was the station, and almost all the people left. I thought, well, maybe they're heading to Dublin. I'm going to Cork. What's to worry about? Then other group of people came in, and it was a gentleman sitting with a newspaper in front of me. I asked him, yes, I'm going to Cork, and I have to leave on first junction. He said, yes, yes. Well, in 25 more minutes, all the people left the train again, and I started to consider something really strange. I went on the train too, and I discovered that I came back to the same place, to Limerick station. How could that happen? Well, I went to the station manager with my, you know, like, what? He said, dear lady, you had to change on the first junction. Well, first, but they pronounce it like fourth. I was extremely, you know, angry because my friend had been waiting for me and I came 2 hours late. But it gave me a lesson. Being an English teacher, okay, please pay attention, learn pronunciation, and ask people to show the numbers. It was really fun. We spent a great day in Cork, and I'm going to come back, but pronunciation taught me a good lesson. well, places to see. Working with my dear old friend from Ukraine, who comes from Mariupol, she always tells me, you know, here I feel like in a kind of old movie, because all the places look like they used to look 100, 200, whatever times ago. And Irish people really, you know, love the past. The old name of island is Airland, and you can see that air, yeah, everywhere, on the bus, on mobile connection, on the train station, and everywhere besides English, you can see the words written in Irish. And yes, unfortunately, not many young people speak Irish. We saw a lady. Yeah, you do. Super. And my friend from Cork, Brendan, does too. He is a man in his late 50s and very educated one and extremely polite. That's why I'm happy to have, you see. Yeah. And here was my first experience of visiting a real King's medieval castle. It's King John's castle, actually, in Limerick. And it's brilliant. But you know what I discovered? You cannot go to that castle without learning about history of Ireland. And I don't know much. That's why I decided to learn the history after visiting the castle, to go deeply into details and then come back and enjoy that place even more. Also here, I had the first experience of watching Pride Parade. You know, being a person who goes to the Orthodox Church and reading the Bible, I cannot say that I feel excited about idea to decide whether you would like to be a man if you were born a woman, or a woman if you were born a man. But what I learned here, you have to be tolerant, and especially I happened to be a leader at the place where we live, a group of Ukrainians, 100 people, and now we're living at students' village in Limerick. So there is a Telegram group, and I'm the person who gives good advice to everyone in terms of how to integrate better. As such people, you might think whatever you want, but as while you are here, yeah, being in Rome, do as the Romans do. That's why every day I give them a small piece of advice how not to get into the trouble. Because Irish people, they are really friendly. They are extremely friendly. They help Ukrainians so much. When they hear that you're from Ukraine, they might stop in the street and make a talk about how is it in Ukraine. They all read the news, and they know even more than Ukrainians know what's happening right now in their own land. And it's brilliant, but we have to respect them and not to do something which can hurt. That's why, of course, learning traditions and customs, and especially things which you mustn't ever do, are really important. Well, I think, you know, to finish my short inspirational, let us say, speech, I'd like to say that Ukrainians and Irish have much more in common than you might think. Both Irish and Ukrainians are patriots. We love our own land. Both Irish and Ukrainians have another country who is more powerful and who tries to get independence, I mean North Ireland, not getting into details. Both Irish and Ukrainians have Vikings as a part of history, and we are our religion, old religion, one is pagan, and Irish have the same, and Vikings as well. That's why I think the more connections we make, the more Ukrainians spread over the world, the richer we will become after we have come back. That's why I wish everyone, if you've got a lemon, learn how to make a good lemonade. Thanks a lot for your attention.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Liudmyla. Very interesting to hear your attitude to Irish and the island and the country at all. Guys, you can find in chat the form, and I kindly ask you to fill it to leave your feedback to Liudmyla's speech. Lesia, please count 1 minute.
By the way, I took this thing to Ireland with me. That's why when I'm drinking my coffee, well, it stands on my table and it reminds me about my lovely Dnipro Hills Toastmasters. Yes. I really miss you guys.
Just while you're talking, may I just interrupt? I'm absolutely laughing my head off here because everyone who has spoken so far is using a phrase which is particular to Ireland. Nowhere else in the world is it used. And that phrase, you've used it twice, 3 times. And it's, do you know what? And everybody is using it. And I'm absolutely, as an Irishman, I'm killing myself laughing. It is particularly Irish. Where are you getting it from? Do you know what?
We have to meet in person. As far as you in Ireland, we have to meet in person. Drop me a line in a chat.
I come over to that.
Great.
Thank you. Thank you all. We continue our meeting, and now we came to the our second part. It is evaluations. But before we start, let me share with you some of technical news about the seas. A sea is a small area of the world ocean. The world ocean is covered 71% of Earth's surface, and there are 37 out of 50 critical minerals in the ocean, and also do know that there is enough salt in the ocean to cover the all Earth's surface. And now, guys, I want to start our evaluation part, and we will know, did speakers cover expectation of evaluators? And the first evaluator that I want to invite on this virtual stage is Oleksandr Myronchuk. He will evaluate the Victoria Baliuk speech. Oleksandr, please, stage is yours.
Thank you. Hello, fellow Toastmaster and guests. Thanks to Victoria for delivering her ice-breaking speech on the dynamic leadership pathway. The speech had a clear introduction, engaging content, and concise conclusion. The speaker also displayed enthusiasm throughout her speech and sincere in good senses, which helped capture the audience's attention. By presenting herself as the president of the club Svoya Sorochka, Victoria instantly sparked heightened expectation and grabbed the attention of the audience. Moreover, speaker effectively highlighted her diverse interests in programming, cybersecurity, marketing, which adds depth to her introduction and helps create a personal connection with the audience. A few words about clarity and interest of the speech. The speech is well structured. However, to make it more captivating, I would suggest to incorporate a broader perspective on how connection with people can positively impact your life. Consider expanding on the potential benefits or including examples that illustrating that illustrating the significance of such relationships. Personally, the current description of the goal invokes a desire to make additionals to enhance its overall impact. I would like to highlight the good trying on use of vocal variety in your speeches. You're trying to change in pitch, pace, and volume that effectively conveyed the message and brought to life your words. It's good for your speech, but I would like to recommend practice more or vocal variety. About the body language, I noticed some gestures that help to better understand the speech and add an additional interest for your speeches. However, to further enhance your gestures, I would recommend to stand. This will allow for your full range of movement to be visible and ensure that your gestures have maximum impact. Overall, your current use of gestures work good, and with a slight adjustment in position and maybe some other stuff with gestures, it will be much better. Eyes contact, it's very easy for online performance because when you look into the camera, you look into the eye of all people, and of course you throughout the speech, you are looking into the camera, so it's perfect eye contact. In conclusion, I would like to congratulate you on the first speech. Your performance was outstanding, and you should be proud of your achievement. Moving forward, I would recommend putting effort, refining the content of your speech, trying different positioning and gestures, and work on vocal variety to make your speech even better. Thank you. Back to stage.
Thank you, Alexander. Please applause for Alexander. And now I would like to invite on this virtual stage evaluator of deck speech. It is Kevin Buggs. Kevin Buggs, the stage is yours. Please welcome.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster. Right, so evaluate change is good by Deck Cluskey. Now, he asked me to look for entertainment value, so I have got one recommendation about that later, Deck. Well, first of all, let's say he said he was the luckiest person in the world, but we didn't get to find out why. I know why. It's because he's a member of our club. That's why he's the luckiest person in the world, obviously. Now, he stood up to deliver, as Alexander suggested he does, other people do, but I'm lazy and I'm not, going to be evaluated except, no, I won't get evaluated, so I'm sitting down. I'm lazy. Now, we heard about his job being a civil engineer after coming through university. I didn't expect that, actually. It's not a job I personally would have expected Deck to have been doing. So that's quite strange. I come to this, the first story was about the doors on this big building. Now, I think it's a cracking story. I think it's very funny. But to make it slightly funnier, Deck, I think the reveal could come later. The reveal was when he said that it was 14 meters high, he put the door handles halfway up. Don't tell us that just at that point. Let's get the tension built. The man's there to open it, and then the curtains get drawn back, and he put the doors halfway up. And maybe at that point it'll be funnier. It was funny already, but maybe funnier with the reverse a little bit later, or the reveal, if you like. The type 1-2 once again, another interesting story. But we didn't get to hear them all, unfortunately. Probably we wouldn't have heard so many if you'd slowed down a little bit. He slowed down at the beginning. I think he was quite fast, speaking quite fast at the beginning. And I think if you're a non-native speaker, that might have been a problem. We're speaking to an international audience here. People like Corey doesn't speak English, remember? He's from America. So you've got to think about these things. I'm intrigued by this thicker line. I'm looking forward to this second speech. I want to know the thicker line story. But it was what we see with Deck is we see enthusiasm. I mean, his enthusiasm is just gets me. I love to listen to him. He stood up to deliver like we were told to. There was this almost a catchphrase.
Thank you so much, Karen. Thank you. And the next our evaluator is Eric Helliwell. Eric, please evaluate Liudmyla's speech. The stage is yours. Please welcome Eric Helliwell.
All right, thank you, everybody. If you can hear me well, Liudmyla, welcome from Ireland to the Ukrainian and mixed world audience here. Thank you so much for all your information. You were kind of like a Lonely Planet guide to Ireland for the Ukrainians, you know? It kind of gave everybody what to look for in all of their travel if they ended up going there. So what are some of the things I liked what you did? First of all, I love Liudmyla's smile. She greets the camera all the time. And the smile, as we know, is a contagious thing, right? We want to basically see smiling. We do it ourselves, so it's good and it keeps it engaged. The other thing is she has a very easy speaking style. So she likes to, it's like you're sitting with her at tea talking about her Irish adventure. So it's a very natural expressed way of talking. She has good use of props. I love showing things in front of the camera like that, gives you a local feel for everything, and also kind of keeps the visual attention to the speech. And she tended to focus on Ukrainian perceptions of Irish, which I thought was a good theme. Now, things that need to be improved. Definitely keep track of the time. As you could see, way over on this. I think it was from a few different things. It was too broad of a topic, in my opinion. I think we could have picked any one of these multiple things you talked about and stay focused on it. So you had a lot of facts in there. So definitely reduce the scope. You also kind of lost about a minute or two in the introduction there because you were commenting on Dek's speech too, which was good because you're there too and you're mentioning it, but you kind of already were a minute to two in at that point, and there was no way you were going to make up that time. And then the other thing I'd mention too is, like, you had a good chance of pulling the story together with the props and that, the rain and all of that with the train story. Maybe just focus on that particular one, integrate all the props in, get to show them a little bit and kind of make a singular story around a focus point. But overall, a lot of good information. You're easy to listen to, so the overtime kind of was tolerable, you know, certainly. But definitely, I think just nail in on one of these things, make a good story out of it, and I think you have a better speech. But I love listening to you, and I love your smile. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Eric, for this, your evaluation. Guys, I know that yesterday I tried to find an event in Dublin, and I faced with the information that at the Dublin seaside, there is a place where people do naked yoga. Sergii, Radchenko, did you come across anything specific that the residents of Odessa were doing?
Yes, of course. Thank you, Tetiana. We love creating incredible stories, and I invite you on this trip with me, with Seaside, over Seaside, and maybe deep in the Seaside. And finally, we start table topic session, and you have two possibilities to participate. Our table topic session. One possibility is be a speaker, and another possibility is evaluator. And I advise you use the word of the day siren. It help you to reach your stories or create something interesting for you. And today it's like a game in my childhood. The C worries once, C worries two, C worries three. The C figure is freeze, and we choose one of 9 waves, and all of the waves includes interesting question and interesting stories. And I invite you on the trip. Who wants to be a first speaker today? Or maybe I choose some person. Nobody? Okay. I'm sorry.
Tetiana raised hand. Tetiana Kifarishina, yeah.
Tetiana Kifarishina, okay. Tetiana, choose the wave and choose the interesting story for you.
What should I do?
One, or you try to choose 1 or 9 wave from 1 and 9.
I choose 2, second.
2, second, okay. It's really interesting because near to Odessa we have some interesting part of our land. Is really small part of the map, but we have some small railway station is called Morskaya. The one side you have sea, and another side you have the Salt Lake. And my question is, how is a seaside holiday different from other water bodies for you? You choose sea or something else?
Okay, thank you very much, Sergei, for the question. I think while you're being in the sea, around the sea, you have the special atmosphere. And if you're living in the sea city, this atmosphere is around you. Nevertheless, are you swimming in the sea or you just watching how people are swimming? It was when I went to Odessa on my birthday, and it was very nice because it was June and me and my friend, we were all cold and we were looking at these beautiful people. It was like little children. Children were in the sea and we were just looking at them and just going through the seaside. And it was very lovely for us just to see it, to have this air, this wonderful air around us, but still it was very cold for us to have the bath into that moment, because for us it was really cold, but people who were living there, it wasn't cold for them. But nevertheless, we didn't have a bath in that period. We were happy to be in Odessa. We were happy to visit the restaurants, some like shops, and we liked that city very much. So to my mind, if you don't even go to the sea like to swim, but even just walking around the sea and have this atmosphere in your heart, and also, I don't know how to say in English, but yod in the water, and this water is on your, for example, on your legs. It is very positive to your health, and while being even not very much time spent on the sea, nevertheless, you have wonderful memories which you collect with you for many years. Because being at the sea, this is a fairy tale in every moment, especially if you live in the capital, or if you live in some city when you don't have the sea. Meeting with wonderful sea, especially when there are no people, there is not a lot of people around the beach, and this is very wonderful meeting, and this is what makes you be happier at every time, at every season of your life. Absolutely. So thank you very much for the question.
Thank you, Tetiana. And another part of our table topic session is evaluation part. Who wants to be an evaluator? But you are during your evaluation part during only 1 minute. Who wants to give the feedback to Tetiana? No one. Maybe I can choose Dmytro Nazarenko. Dmitry, can you?
Liudmyla wants to do that.
Liudmyla.
Wants
I'm
to
sorry, Liudmyla. Now it's your turn.
Yeah, it would be my pleasure because once I took part in evaluation contest and I lost. Well, that's why I'm learning how to become evaluator. First of all, I'm always excited to see Tatiana. She has a really friendly and very positive style. I always enjoy looking at her and feeling the atmosphere when she creates, even given small speeches. What can I say? I liked your answer. It wasn't really structured though. I would advise you to make it more structured. Of course, it was unprepared, that's why. But what you did really well, you shared your own story. And also, like, the same thing, you share it in a really friendly and nice to hear manner. Just looking at you gives pleasure. Yes, because you are, yes, looking at you, you're a really summer person and enjoying summer and whatever. Just some suggestions, yes, to make the structure more clear. Everything else is perfect.
Thank you.
Thank you, Liudmyla. I can see Lesia raise your hand. Lesia, what's the number of the way you choose?
Oh, Sergei, I raised hand just for participants to see me. It's not a volunteer for impromptu. Sorry about this.
Okay, maybe Kevin or Tetiana. Who wants? Tetiana, Lytvyniuk.
Yes,
What's the number
yes.
you choose?
Let it be number 7.
The number is 7. It's a really good question. And this question is very romantic. How do you feel about the phrase, your eyes are like a bottomless oceans? What do you think about this phrase?
Actually, my favorite color is the color of the sea. And when I think about the bottomless eyes, probably the idea, the view which I have in my mind at that point is the situation when we were visiting Cyprus. It was in February, so definitely not the tourist season for swimming in the sea. And we were sitting on the cliff and just were watching this endless sea in front of you, the waves roaring, and it was just this serene feeling of your life, which is endless, of your emotions, which go somewhere deep, and you just didn't want to leave this place, didn't want to this moment to end. You wanted this to keep going and keep going, because it was something that you can feel in the air, see in those surface of the sea. And I believe that sometimes when you look into the people's eyes, you can feel just the same feeling of the life which is somewhere deep inside, and you can understand the whole fullness of life being there. Thank you.
Thank you, Tetiana. And who wants to evaluate Tetiana? Who wants to give her feedback? Diana, I see you. Diana, give feedback, your feedback to for Tetiana.
Hi, everybody. Thank you. Tetiana, great speech. You managed to incorporate a lot of gestures to show how impressive the situation, your life situation was when you were in Cyprus. I enjoyed the structure of your speech, giving your personal story, the opinion on the question. What I would suggest you as a speaker, try to incorporate pauses. They make your story more vivid for audience to feel that moment. Like when you were sitting on the cliff and everything that you saw there was so serene and you just didn't want this moment to end. How about that? Did you like that? So amazing speech. Thank you so much. It was absolutely impromptu, and that's the best answer you can give. Thank you.
Thank you, Diana. And what about sea and my goal about sea? I like to visit sea during all of the seasons of the year, because I'm like make a photo. I like create something interesting. And imagine the situation. I'm finally on vacation. Sea, seagulls, dolphins are near. What beautiful badliness I have. Creates some interesting situation, because you can see the sea not only in the nature, but in your home. And another speaker, who wants to be the speaker? Kevin, okay. Kevin, choose the number.
Number 6.
6. Okay. For my guests from another countries, another cities, I give some souvenirs. I make a video with the sea when whisper, when sea is a whisper, when sea make some miracle. And my question is, what souvenir would you like to bring back from your trip to the sea? The floor is yours.
Sergei, like yourself, I now live by the sea. It's not as nice as the sea that you live by. It's a very cold North Sea. But I'd swapped for Odesa any day from where I live. So a souvenir from the sea could be a souvenir from my own town when I go to see some relatives. It could be when I go on holiday to, like I was Gran Canaria last month. It could be, but it's got to be a souvenir. It has to be something that you're taking to show how much you love somebody, I guess, or how much you dislike them, perhaps. You see, sometimes when you give gifts, you can be sarcastic in what you give, or it could be funny. For many years, my family had this thing going on. We got some socks from a place called Marks and Spencer's. I got them, I think, first in 1975, but they were far too big for me. So I put them away and I gave them to my dad the next year. And then he gave them to my brother on his birthday. And it went around our family for nearly 40 years, 34. I don't know where they've gone now. Maybe when my dad passed away, we lost them. But a gift like that could be quite interesting from the seaside. If you go to the Isle of Wight, and there's a certain place there where you get colourful sands, what would I bring from the seaside here where I live in the north of England, where the heat wave across Europe is said to be massive heat wave? I already had the news this morning. Heat wave hits the world. It's 18 degrees where I am right now. There's no heat wave where I live. And everything's still cold. People are still wearing coats. The heating stays on. It's crazy. So if I was taking a gift from where I am to somebody from my seaside, it'd be very, very easy. Very easy indeed. I'd get a big thermos bag and I'd put it in there, a bag of ice. And I'd take these, which would be really useful, actually. They may use the gift up over time. But imagine the gin and tonics that could be drunk with that lovely ice. I take them. Over to you.
Thank you, Kevin. It's really nice answer. And who want to be give us feedback for Kevin? Twyla, I see you. The floor is yours.
Thank you, Mr. Topic Master. Kevin, I always ask for a present when my friends go on a trip. If they were going to Ireland, I would ask them to bring me back an Irishman. If they were going to Hawaii, I asked them to bring me a Hawaiian. But they never bring me what I asked for. But I loved your talk about souvenirs and what you would bring from other destinations. I was able to totally identify with your talk. You were clear enough with your vocabulary. You gave us wonderful images with your words. Your pace was very good. I have to remember to slow down because I talk so fast that people can't understand me, but your pace was delightful. So I thoroughly enjoyed your story. And if I have a friend going to the UK, I'm going to tell them to bring me back a Kevin. Thank you, Mr. Table Topics Master.
Thank you, Twyla. And I advise you use the word of the day, siren. It helps you in your speech. And some of Odesa anecdotes, especially from Kevin, who lives near to the sea. Yasha, you and I are the most unfortunate people. Pirochka, why do you think so? We live near the sea. We even have now nowhere to go on vacation. Yes, you can choose any way because you live near the sea. And who was the next speaker?
Sergii, you can come to my house and I'll take you to the mountains in Yosemite. So that's what you can do, is come visit me in the mountains.
Oh, in mountains. I see the Diana, yes. You want the speaker? Choose the number of the way.
My favorite number is number 3.
3. Oh, it's interesting number because I like this situation because sometimes I visit the sea alone, but I have one time when I have a very big company. It's maybe more than 25 persons. And my question is the best holiday for you alone or with a company, and why? The simple question.
All right. That is the question. I can tell you that I prefer to spend time at the sea alone, but also I discovered that there can be a great way to spend time with the company. For example, last year, 16 foreigners went to Montenegro to spend time together. Out of these 16 foreigners, there were 9 different nationalities. Imagine the cultural diversity. It was incredible. And the point is that everybody found his or her own way of serene time at the seaside. So you could be with a loud company of 5 people over there, or you can go and sit and read a book by yourself. Or you can go into a crazy dive with those 3 people that are simply nuts. Any time and any way spent with a company is a great time, I believe, just because people are so diverse and everybody has something to tell you, just like all the speakers in front of me. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Diana. And I invite on the stage Corey, who give the feedback to Diana.
Fellow Toastmasters and honored guests. What we heard from Diana was, this is where she was before. I like being by myself. And then she had an experience that changed her, which was traveling with a group of people. the thing that was in common with, well, there are two things that were in common with both. One, Diana, and two, the Seaside. And that allowed her to experience something different. If the Seaside and Diana are in common, what we got to learn was that the group of people made the difference. She cited diversity, a number of different nationalities, and how people found common ground even at the beach. She could still be an individual, but she blended in with others as well. And that made the experience that much richer. She also pointed out the word of the day a couple of times over this meeting, which was serene. And I'll say it again, serene. There we go. And ultimately what we found is that it doesn't matter whether you go by yourself or if you go with others, that time will be serene.
Thank you, Corey. And another participants who was the change choose the wave is Elisa. Elisa, choose the wave from your story, for your story.
How I'm going to choose?
We have 8, 9, 5, 4, and
8.
First 8. Oh, it's really interesting question, because in our country and in our society we have some phrase, and this phrase is for Russian more problem, many problems. And what do you think the phrase? What do you understand the phrase "sea of problems"? When is many problems? Would you understand?
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for the interesting question. So, if there is a phrase saying many problems, what will I say? Many problems, many opportunities. Many problems, many chance for you to grow. Many problems can make you find more friends to help you. And many problems can teach you how to become a serene person. Be calm, enjoy, and train yourself to be a better person. When you have a problem, actually the situation challenges you to be a better person, make you grow, and sometimes can make you think even better, out of the box. And you know that you are not just a normal person. You are somebody that really great person. You only know your capacity of yourself when you have a lot of problems. Seems like baby. They don't know that they have a very loud voice if they are not hungry. When they are hungry, they know that, mommy, I want to drink. Something like that. So same like us. Without a problem, we cannot prove to the people that we have something that other people cannot do. So we are different when we know that we have a problem, try to solve it, learn from it, don't ever running away from the problems. Because why? Sometimes blessing in disguise. With a problem, if you know how to handle it, with serene and very great, you can actually can give a benefit for you, especially in your life. And I hopefully with many problems, you will find many opportunities and many friends in your life. Back to you. Thank you, Topic Master.
Thank you, Elisa. And I invite on the stage Dmitry Nazarenko, who evaluate Elisa's speech.
All right. Well, first of all, I found the impromptu speech by Elisa very interesting and engaging, as she, I would assume she has tried to maintain eye contact with everyone present, and at this meeting she had also used hand gestures, which has also been which was another factor that influenced her response to the question positively, and also the fact that Elisa had provided an example to illustrate her answer had also been a very good addition, a good supplement to it. Toastmaster.
Thank you, Dmitry. And if we have a time, I invite another person to.
Yes, we can. The last
Yeah,
question.
yes, okay. Maybe the last question for Maria Kuchar, the guest from Svoya Sorochka. Maria, choose the wave from your story, for your story. Sorry.
I'm not sure I can. I actually don't have a lot of experience in public speaking, especially in English. But it's nice to propose, so thank you.
Okay, maybe we can choose Vladimir Ukrainets. Choose the number of.
Thank you, and I choose number 4.
Number 4. This number is absent.
Так. And so, and what are left? Because
left 4, 5, and 9.
Well, all right, I choose number 9.
Okay, it's very interesting question because in our Odesa seashell, we have some interesting beach, what called animal names. We have dolphin, seagull, and even ducks, dog beach. And my question for you, what animal or creature would you like to compare with the sea? The sea. This question to you.
Oh, well, that's a very interesting question. I've just remember that I like dolphins, frankly speaking, yes, because I was once in dolphinarium, and they're very, very beautiful animals, and I think that it is better to compare it to the dolphins. And I want to tell you that I like sea. I traveled to the sea a lot of time before the occupation of the Crimea. I have a lot of good, bad memories. I even have once, even a disastrous traveling in the steamship. Yes, it is a very interesting story. I can tell you that we went once to the excursion on the steamship. It was a calm sea at first, and we went to the botanical garden and another place, and the last stop was in Yalta. We went to pizzeria to eat a lot of pizza, and when we returned, we found out that there was a warning about storm, but the crew of the steamship ignored the warning, and we went to return. And what do you really think it did? The storm came. It was a disaster. The steamship was like this, and then. And what do you think? What happened to pizza? Oh, I am not sure that you want to hear what happened to pizza. I felt myself very bad. And we all were relieved when we saw the lights of our final stop, from which we left, the point of destinations. And even the next morning, it was very hard to recover from such a disastrous, the worst excursion of my life, I called it. And anyway, it is nothing to be compared to the good memories. And I hope that once we have our Crimea again to us, and we will come back to the sea, to our Black Sea, which will be free from bombs, mines, and many other bad things. So, and dolphins will come here and will not be suffered from the disastrous pollution, from the air raid attacks. And thanks to you all, and glory to Ukraine.
Thank you, Vladimir. I agree with you. I also hope we have a clear beach, clear sea coast, seashell, and another part of our city and our Ukraine. And evaluator for you is Olena Kiev. Olena, Did you evaluate Volodymyr Ukrainets?
Hi everyone, but unfortunately I'm not so pretty to do it. Sorry.
Oh.
Victoria.
Who can do it?
Victoria.
Who can do it?
Sergei, I can evaluate Volodymyr's speech, and it will be a pleasure for me.
Yes, of course. Thank you, Victoria.
Okay, firstly, I would like to mention that I like your praise, Volodymyr, and it was so easy to understand. You used clear vocabulary and you told your words clearly. Also, I would like to say that you was honest, you used in your speech storytelling, and because of this, I feel the atmosphere that you felt, and I understood that I wanted to feel the same. Also, I'm so grateful for your smile because you smiled all the time. I didn't know was it nervous or it wasn't, but I like your smile. You should do this all the time because it is so beautiful. And also, I like your conclusion because you mentioned the Free Sea and each Ukrainian understood you. And also, I'm grateful for your speech, for your storytelling, and it looked like an entire system. And it was a pleasure to hear this. And I would like to hear more from you, maybe a prepared speech from you that will be about sea. Thank you.
Thank you, Victoria. And maybe we can close our table topic session. Thank you for participation this table topic session and for about your story. Your story is very nice. Your story is very deep, like our sea, like ocean, and it's very clear and very interesting. Back to you, Madam Toastmaster. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sergei. Please, additional round of applause for Sergei for his very interesting and unusual approach to create a topic session. It was, as for me, I just found additional tips for the next table topic session when I will be the table topic master. And guys, you can see in the chat we have the voting form, and please vote. I ask timer to keep the time. Keep the time when people will vote.
Yeah, today we have a lot of participants, so hard to hard to choose. But still, guys, please vote. Okay, I think we can continue, Tania.
Okay, I think that at the end we will know who is the winner in our table topic session. But now I want to invite on the stage grammarian of our meeting, Tetiana Lytvyniuk. Tetiana, please welcome.
To start with, I would like to thank you all for this great meeting. And as for the usage of the word of the day, a lot of people were actually using the word of the day, which is great. Those were Victoria, Sergei, Diana twice, Cory twice, and also Elisa. I think those are really great results. Thank you all for who used the word of the day. As for the improper grammatical uses, probably not always they are improper, but sometimes I would suggest another option, another variant, how to say the same things. So Dia was started to consider, probably in that context, it was better to say started noticing. It helps we need to add s when it's the third person, near to Odesa, near Odesa or next to Odesa. Root beat, I guess it's beetroot. Also, me and my friends, it's better to say my friends and I. And also the happy, probably also in that context, it should have been the happiest or just happier. As for the quotes or sorts or words that I liked, there were a lot of them. I will mention just some which I liked most. The last but not least, piece of advice: captivate, very great word. Bring to life, enhance, refine, small portion of, cracky, contiguous, tend to focus, nail on, very great. I'll try to use it as well in my lexicon. Vivid, common ground, blessing in disguise. Also, I liked this very much. Thank you. And back to you, Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you. Thank you, Tetiana. And as I see that Lesia sent the report in the chat, and I know that Natalia, you also will send in the chat. Or do you want to say us the report? I can just leave the stage for you, please.
I'll be able to. Oh, sorry.
Sorry. Please say what you wanted to say.
I just wanted to say that I will send my report to the chat of Dnipro Hills.
Okay, I'll also send my report. I will try to be brief. Just to, there weren't too many fresh sound and unnecessary thoughts, but there were some. There are some winners, but some people were really clear speeches. Their speeches were really clear. Lesia 5 S, 3 R's. Tetiana and Bilous spoke a lot. That is why 41 21 R's, and that's it. Victoria Baliuk, plenty of repetitions, and that's it. Jack Cluskey 6 S, 10 R's, 5 arms, 1 and. Liudmyla Kushch 32 as 19 R's. I was really carefully listening to your speeches. 11 arms, 2 12. Oleksandr Myronchuk 9 S. Then Kevin Beggs 2 S. And Nataly Parubocha 3 S, 2 R's. 1 so. Eric Helliwell 1 A, 5 R's, 4 arms, 1 and, 1 so. Then Sergii Radchenko spoke a lot. That is why was speaking a lot. That is why 32 S, 16 R's, 2 arms, 2 ends. Tania 6 S, and pretty more fresh sounds. Diana Pigilova, not so many, sorry, 2 S, 1 R's. Myronchuk as well, not so many, 1 A, 1 so, and about 4 repetitions for the Ukraine, 16 S, 6 R's, 1 tak, 2 well, and 1 ну тогда я choose. It's like combination of 2 languages. Thank you very much. I will share the report in our charts. Back to you, Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you, Natalie. Currently, I have read a joke. How to have a beach body? First, have a body, and second, go to the beach. And joke from my side. How to close our meeting? First, have the participants to start, and second, leave the stage for Natalia, our area director, at the end of the meeting. Natalia, stage is yours. Welcome.
Okay, I would think it's someone else. All right, we have one more duty for today, and this duty is to announce the winners of the table topic session. And the first winner is the winner of speaking part, and the winner is Elisa. Woohoo! Congratulations. And who is the winner of the evaluation part? The best table topics evaluator for today is... Who's that? Is Victoria Baliuk. Victoria, congratulations. Welcome. Welcome to our meetings to win more certificates. So thank you very much. Thanks to everyone who has been the part of our today's meeting. It was stunning, it was amazing, and I was feeling really like that word of the day. I haven't used, unfortunately, but I was feeling serene, like I'm at the seaside, despite there's no sea in Kyiv. Actually, there is a huge pond that is called the sea, but it is not the sea, actually. It's just called the sea. Thank you so much again. What would I like to announce to you that the next online meeting is going to be on the 20th of August. And we are going to prepare for you. We're actually already preparing for you something really interesting, something really engaging. I'm talking about the joint meeting with a great and international friendly club, and hope we will discuss it at that meeting at the after party. And before that, before I announce this meeting in June, I ask everyone to put on your cameras, switch on your cameras for the final photo. Please, Maria, can you switch on your camera and smile and look into the camera and probably put on the reactions and smile, and we'll have the picture. Maria, thank you. So many smiling, beautiful faces. Beautiful faces. Okay. Lesia, are we done? Thank you very much. We've done. We can relax. The meeting is adjourned. And let's go on feeling serene. Okay.